The funding for this video is provided by the amazing members of my Patreon. Also contributions from viewers like you. Thank you. Y'all started from PBS Kids, what you gonna do? Fight me? Anyway, roll the video. Okay, I'm just making sure y'all can hear me. Hey y'all, it's Harriana and I'm back with another video. Hi, hello, how are you guys doing? My name is Harriana and welcome back to The Pirate Ship, also known as Harriet's Pirate Ship. I am the captain. You are not my first mate. I don't got no first mate because you want to know why? You coming to me. I'm not coming to you this time. Nobody's worthy of being the first mate. But hi, hello, how are you guys doing? My name is Harriana and I like to make content based off nostalgia and family and children's entertainment and all the issues that I find within those spaces. Before I get started, I just want to say thank you. Thank you guys so much for the support on my last video. My mom had died back in 2021, and then I made a video about it like at the end of 2022 about like the way death is portrayed in like film and media. But this was like the first time I can really say that I actually talked about how I was dealing with it and everything like that. So thank you guys so much for that. Really do appreciate it. But y'all didn't click on this video for this. This actually was something that I didn't plan to make until like probably 30 minutes ago, because I actually was getting ready to film something else that was way more scripted and outlined. And a lot of this is just like my thoughts just flowing out all onto one, because I genuinely have so much to say about this situation and just the entertainment industry, not just specifically the film industry as a whole. But for those of you guys who do not know, like basically the title of the video, you don't know who Grace Van Dyne is. It's Grace Von Dien. How did I mess it up? But Grace Von Dien basically is an actress. She was on Greenhouse Academy. That's how I knew who she was. Y'all remember the Greenhouse Academy days? Yeah, but she also is well known as Chrissy on the series Stranger Things. She was in season 4. She was one of the cheerleaders there. One thing I have noticed when it comes to Stranger Things is that it is known for like skyrocketing people's careers, because they'll get on Stranger Things and the next thing you know, they are more recognizable, and then they're able to like book other jobs because they have that connection right there to that show. I'm not exactly sure if that's particularly true, but I have noticed that a lot of the actors that do get cast in Stranger Things, they aren't really in a lot of other stuff, I'd say, but then once they get on Stranger Things, that's when we start to see them do more other shit. So moving forward from there, Grace has been taking a break from working in the film industry, and it is because of something very fucking nasty that happened with her and a producer. I will go ahead and put in a clip right here. I usually try to refrain from putting in clips in my videos because of copyright and such, but in this moment I really think it's important for her to talk about it. I think y'all should hear it from her herself, especially because of the way she looked in the video. Yeah, this is an issue, an ongoing problem that barely becomes fixed, and it's annoying as shit.
I did. One of the producers asked me to, like, he hired a girl that he was sleeping with, and then he had her ask me to have a threesome with them. So like, that's my boss.
One thing a lot of people don't know is that Grace is also a Twitch streamer. While she is an actor, she is also a Twitch streamer. She likes to play video games and all of that shit. That's honestly nothing that's surprising in this day and age, because I remember back in the day, like if a real celebrity, you know, a traditional celebrity, they just their start through like music and acting and whatnot, and they had like a YouTube channel, it was like kind of looked down upon. And it's not like a YouTube channel, she has a Twitch, she's Twitch, but if these people made online content, it was kind of looked down upon. But that shit is so fucking common now, because these celebrities have realized that if they could like have their regular career, but if they could make content on the internet, they'll literally have like two different forms of income. They'll have their income from acting or music or whatever the fuck, and then they'll have that income from being like a content creator, and then them being an actor will get them more followers on social media, so that they'll be able to get more brand deals and this and that and the third. Like, it's a whole entire debacle. But with Grace saying that she wants to focus more on Twitch because she's taking a break from film, I understand her decision, because I am somebody, mind you, I am not nothing big in this industry, okay? I'm gonna go ahead and say this. I know who the fuck I am. Let people be like, who the fuck you think you are? I'm Harriana Hook, the captain, okay? But as someone who has dipped their toes a bit in this industry, I will go ahead and tell you that it is some of the most gatekeepiest, annoying shit that goes on behind the scenes. There's a ton of favoritism. Yes, if you guys have heard about people sleeping their way to the top, that is absolutely fucking true. That happens. There is so much of who you know. People literally get jobs because they know somebody, not really caring about the talent and effort that goes into it. The entertainment industry as a whole is very much an odd place. And within this industry, I wrote about it in my book, You're Not Crucial. And I don't want to feel like I'm using like this to promote my book, but it kind of plays into it, because so much of what I spoke about in my book is similar to what was going on with Grace, because I even wrote a particular chapter, like a particular essay, because it's a book that's a collection of essays about like creepy men that I have met through this job. It's literally called Creepy Men. And I don't want to like spoil like what was in it, because I'm not going to tell you guys what was in it, because no. But that particular chapter, it's like so many people have hit me up after that, and they were like, I understand this because it makes you feel uncomfortable, and that you just genuinely feel unsafe in this environment because nothing about it is being done. It is normalized within this industry for women to be, belittled by men, and nothing is done. And then 9 times out of 10, usually if they like reject them or they refrain for them, they end up getting blackballed. Because I remember that one time with this one particular production that I worked on, I was late to set. Trust me, it was traffic. It was bad. But the one time I was late to set, I got in trouble. But then on this particular set, I remember that there was a man here that was SHing a whole bunch of the women that worked on that same production. And he was reported numerous times and nothing was done about it. This industry does not make women feel safe. And I understand that it's not just women that this happens to, but I kid you not, almost every single last woman that I have met in this industry have told me that they have came across a creepy man. And what I talked about in my book is like why I have just kind of been focusing on my own brand and entrepreneurship for the most part, versus like trying to pitch my works and all of that shit to the professional entertainment and film industry, because I just am so fucking tired of it all. It's so much ass kissing that goes into it. And then even when Grace was talking about how the man wanted to have a threesome with her, it's so much of that shit. Because there's like, I am never gonna dog on another woman who chooses to do that in this industry, because I completely understand why they do that shit. I get it. I understand it, because this is people's livelihoods. These are people's jobs. Like, this is how we gotta eat. This is how we have to support ourselves. And if they're guaranteed a role or like higher pay or more like opportunities for this and that and the third, if they sleep with this one man or just do whatever he tells them, they sometimes aren't really in a position where they feel as if they can say no. And usually because that's kind of like all they have and that they all have going for themselves. Because a lot of actors and models and whatnot, that is like their main source of income. They don't really have anything else on the side that they do. So if they like reject these people, they don't have much of a choice but to just be homeless or living on the street or going back to, like, I say, a regular job, like working in like food service and retail and all of that, jobs that don't pay nearly as much as these do over here on the other side. It is crazy. All right. And Grace, I am glad that she did have something else that she can go towards, and that was Twitch. And it was great that she ended up getting more Twitch followers and support over there from her, you know, connection to Stranger Things, because people saw she was on Stranger Things, so they wanted to go and follow her and go over there. And I know with Jeanette McCurdy's book, I'm Glad My Mom Died, it was something, because we understand, like, this video, I'm really more so talking about how adult women are treated in this industry. But I remember in particular, because Jeanette's book was just like, this is why I do not make babies famous at all. But there was a point in there that she did mention that the adults on set were being treated badly and they were being harassed just as well. And 9 times out of 10, usually when it be adults that are treated badly on set, a lot of times they're women or feminine presenting people or people that are assigned female at birth. It's bad out here and we don't feel safe. We feel endangered, because in my book, Youre Not Crucial, I did talk about this one particular guy. He wasn't talked about in the Creepy Men chapter, but I talked about him another one, the one about like racist people and whatever that I had to encounter. And I noticed that he would make me and like a whole bunch of other women feel uncomfortable. He actually ended up doing something to another woman. And then I remember he ended up following another woman home, and all of these women like were my coworkers. We were all like in the same work environment with this one person. And it's so fucking sad that it took so long for him to get fired. And I remember he was still over here booking jobs on other shows, because I remember, I'm not saying the names of any of these things because I don't want y'all to like go after people who didn't do anything wrong in particular, because I remember I said something about if one person on a production fuck up, y'all go and attack the entire production team like it was all their fault. But I ended up seeing him on another production, and mind you, this production is a show that heavily featured an all-black cast, with the exception of like a few non-black people here and there. And not to the other thing that they were non-black, they were usually not white either. He was there, and I was just like, this industry has so many concerns and issues. And because of all of this shit that surrounds it, when so many people are able to get that following on the internet, they just kind of leave and they just focus on creating content online because they feel a lot safer. And also when it comes to creating content online, you're a little bit more in control over what you can do and what you can say and this and that and the third. Because why do y'all think so many authors are, you know, self-publishing their books? Because there's so much shit that goes into publishing a book where they were like, this isn't proper grammar, I don't like this scene, I don't like this character, I think you need to change the character to this instead of doing that. Because I remember with To All the Boys I Loved Before, it literally took so much for them to keep Laura Jean as an Asian girl, because they were talking about they wanted to make Laura Jean white. Like, it's so much stuff like that that goes on within this industry. It's a lot of whitewashing, and then beyond the whitewashing, it's just full on misogyny. And it's like the industry treats you like a puppet. They treat you like a puppet, and they treat you like an object for what you can do for them. They don't really care too much about you and your well-being. They're focused on how you can make them more money, how you can, you know, make these people more richer. They don't care about your well-being. They don't really give a fuck all that much. And the ones that do care, it's like they're like kind of outnumbered by the ones who don't. So it's just like editing me here. As I'm talking about how the film industry do not be caring about people's well-being because they want better pay, better hours, overall better working conditions for what they do, and I am very much supportive of New Deal for Animation. I think you guys should check it out. I will have the link for the petition down below, and then I will also have some other links for you guys if you want to read about what's going on. And also, I need to make a note, this is particularly for Disney Animation Studio, so Disney, but if things can get better for the people working in the animation department for Disney, it will most likely get better for other people working on other productions just as well. So link will be down below. Let's continue. It's really like them big Hollywood producers that are the problem, like the big white Hollywood producers. It's mainly those people that are just like the fucking problem. And whenever that problem with them gets settled, things will slowly start to get better, but they aren't, and it's annoying. So you're gonna continue to see more and more stuff about content, about actors and established musicians and all this shit coming to do content creation online, because they're not being belittled and treated, well, you know, the comment section and all that, but they're not literally over here risking their jobs for the sake of nasty things that these people want them to do, or selling out and whatnot. It is concerning, because I remember we were talking about how y'all noticed that when a content creator gets on like the level of like being a celebrity, do y'all notice that there's like a shift in like the way their content is? And I was like, yeah, because they're starting to like, you know, get more in touch with the professional film industry, so they kind of have to limit and watch what they say, and they become more and more biased, and it's just kind of hard to figure out how they feel and what they want to say about this and that and the third. It's just strange, and that's part of the reason why so many people have issues with all these new YouTube guidelines and all of that shit, because I don't want to quote him because he's been in a lot of trouble lately, but he was like, YouTube is not TV, and then it's like then it shifted to it's like TV, and then it shifted to it's worse than TV, because we come here on YouTube, and not even just YouTube, but like, you know, Webtoon, other platforms where people, you know, share their art and music and whatever the fuck. SoundCloud, I'd even say that too. Like YouTube, Venmo, SoundCloud, Webtoon, Tapas, a lot of these platforms where people just share their stuff. Instagram is a big one just as well. But when people are out here, and Patreon's a big one. Lots of these online platforms where people are posting their arts and crafts and being creative and this and that and the third. The reason we run here is because we know that we are very likely to be able to get our shit out on social media than we are working within the film industry. And I have heard numerous like rumors and accusations of how film industry professionals don't really care too much for online content creators. And it's like, yeah, because we able to do what they do for like the comfort of our house, and a lot of people appreciate it and this and that and the third. We don't have this super duper big budget behind it like they do. And it's like the professional film industry, I feel like part of the reason why it's becoming harder and harder to break into it and get into it is because they scared of us. Like, they are intimidated by online content creators. They really are. They are terrified. Because I remember I was talking to one of my teachers, my college professors, and he had said something along the lines of how the school boards, like college school boards, they are terrified of the students, because they were like, they know damn well that if y'all snitch, it will make the school look bad and they will get less money. But he was like, yeah, like if something bad happened to you here, threaten to tell 11 Alive News and then look and see if it changed. And I was dead. I hope he's doing well. Honestly, one of my best professors I've ever had. I love college professors because some of them are just such real and raw and authentic people. And I'm not saying like anybody watching this video, I don't want to make this as like a way for you guys to be discouraged from wanting to work and break into the professional film industry. But like a lot of what I spoke about here, and then even seeing what Grace had to deal with, bless her heart, she did not deserve that. It just reminded me so much of why I just started focusing more on the indie like department and just working with independent creators and whatever the fuck, opposed to trying to break more into the professional film industry and whatnot, because I am trying to do more with breaking into like professional modeling, and then that's just another can of worms on its own too. But the film industry, professional acting and whatnot, and then like I'm trying to do more voiceover, because I low-key feel like it's a bit safer than like film acting like on screen, because you don't have to like physically be there and whatever. It's a whole mess. But so much, like seeing that video and seeing how hurt she was, it really just reminded me of why I just kind of am confused on how I feel about wanting to work in this industry again, because I did stand in last month and the experience was pretty well. It was good, but I hate the fact that I can say this, but I can name more days where I've worked on set where I've had a bad experience than good ones. And mind you, I've worked on set pretty much a lot. I've done, like I said, I've done extra work, I've done stand-in work, and then I've done photo doubling work on set. So those are like the only three things I've done within this professional film industry. I was trying to get into working with the C word department. Can't say that because apparently you get demonetized if you say the virus name. I was thinking about PAing. I wanted to work with like, you know, fashion, like the costumes and whatnot. But as a whole, I'm just over here like, do I even want to be here? Because I'm gonna go ahead and say this because it didn't go through. But I had signed up to work on like the Descendants film, like as an extra. And mind you, I said I was done doing extra work for a while because of how traumatizing that last experience was for me. It just didn't work out. They ended up never calling me back. But I was like, maybe that happened for a reason, because I just put this past myself. Like, I enjoy creating my own little films and whatever to share with you guys on YouTube. I love creating my own comic. I love going to conventions where I'm able to network and meet other creators and we can make fun things or whatever. I love doing like panels and whatnot. I love, you know, doing my own thing. I really enjoy doing my own thing. But when it comes to doing your own thing, you have to put in so much of that work yourself, because when you're in the professional film industry, you have so many people doing things for you. Like, you'll have your agent sending you jobs, and then you'll have your manager booking you for, you know, appearances and all of that. And then you'll have people calling you saying, we want to do a photo shoot with you. We want you to promote your brand and this and that and the third. But when you're an online creator, it's like up to you, baby. If you don't go out and look for these things and look for these opportunities and these situations and all of that, nothing gonna get out. And that's just the truth. That is just the truth. Don't want this to go on any longer than it is at the moment. Thank you guys so much for watching, and have a good night.
Now that you see, you should beware of the power of three. They come to fight as fast as they can. They're dangerous yet fabulous. Because the Utonium made them eschew. They are the colors of pink, green, and blue. They'll catch you in the blink of an eye and do it all before bedtime. They coming through and fighting, and everyone they're shocking. You know no one can stop them all because of the chemical X. They coming through and fighting, and everyone they're shocking.